I, F30, got married last weekend, and it was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, but drama unfolded, and now my family is split in half. I need to know if I'm the a-hole or if my reaction was justified. Backstory. My younger sister, F27, let's call her Lucy, has always been the golden child of the family. She's smart, beautiful, and has always been the center of attention, whether it's her birthdays, graduations, or other significant life events. I've always felt like I was living in her shadow, but I've never said anything because, well, she's my sister, and I love her. Lucy got pregnant a couple of months ago, and while I'm genuinely happy for her, I was also relieved that my wedding day could finally be about me for once. No one overshadowing me. No unexpected news. Just me, my partner, and our big day. The incident. A week before the wedding, Lucy called me, and during what I thought was a casual sisterly chat, she drops this bombshell. Wouldn't it be amazing if I announced my pregnancy during your reception? It would be such a surprise. She went on to explain that all of our family would be there, and she thought it would be such a special moment for everyone. I was stunned. I told her politely but firmly that I didn't think it was a good idea. I had spent months planning this day, and I wanted it to be about my husband and me, not a pregnancy announcement. Lucy said I was overreacting and being selfish. She said it wasn't a big deal, and that everyone would be so happy. I reiterated my stance and no announcement at my wedding. I thought that was the end of it. The day of the wedding. Fast forward to the reception. Everything was going beautifully. I was having the time of my life until I noticed Lucy looking a bit smug. That's when she tapped her glass for attention. My stomach dropped. In front of all our guests, she stood up and announced her pregnancy anyway. The room erupted in cheers and congratulations. I was frozen in shock. It felt like a dream. People immediately swarmed her with hugs and questions, and suddenly, my wedding was no longer about me. It was about Lucy and her baby. I was furious. My husband could see it, my bridesmaids could see it, and honestly, anyone paying attention could see I was upset. But I didn't want to cause a scene, so I left the reception early, crying in the bridal suite. My husband tried to console me, but I was heartbroken. Aftermath. Now, here's where things get worse. The next day, Lucy texted me saying I was being a drama queen, and that everyone was happy for her. My parents are taking her side, saying I should have just let her have her moment, and that I'm being immature for being upset. But a few of my cousins and friends have reached out to tell me that they thought what Lucy did was selfish and wrong. The family is now divided. Some say I'm overreacting, while others say Lucy was out of line. So, am I the a-hole for getting upset that my sister hijacked my wedding to announce her pregnancy? Everything in a nutshell. My sister asked to announce her pregnancy at my wedding. I said no, but she did it anyway. Now, I'm being called selfish and immature for being upset about it. Am I the jerk? Commenter. NTA. Go no contact with her and anyone on her side. She needs to learn her actions have consequences. Silence is your best response to all of them. Fudge people taking over your paid party for their selfish bullshit. Commenter. At her baby shower announced that you were pregnant even if you're not. Commenter. NTA. Send her the bill for her announcement party. Explain to your parents you told her no. She did it anyway. She should pay. Save your messages and video and offer to go immediately to small claims court if she doesn't pay. I would even figure out how far into the reception this was done and charge her that percentage of the costs. And blast her on social media. Good phrases are hashtag golden child, hashtag entitled, and hashtag main character. Let everyone know she can't stand for anything to be about you at all, even your own wedding. Let her face the consequences or pony up the money. Update 1. Hey Reddit. It's me again, the one whose sister hijacked her wedding with a surprise pregnancy announcement. First of all, I just want to thank everyone who commented on my original post. I never expected it to go viral, and reading your responses really gave me some clarity. I figured I owed you all an update, especially since things have really escalated since then. What happened after the wedding? So, after the wedding, I took a few days to cool down. I didn't want to respond to any of the family drama immediately because, honestly, I needed some space to process everything. But Lucy and my parents kept pushing for a resolution, insisting that I should apologize for storming out of my own wedding and for making a big deal out of nothing. I held firm, though. I told them how deeply hurt I was, how Lucy had completely disregarded my feelings and my boundaries. I tried to explain that it wasn't just about the announcement. It was about years of feeling like I always came second to her. Unsurprisingly, Lucy doubled down and kept calling me dramatic and self-centered. My parents were still on her side, repeating how everyone was happy and that I should let it go. Family divide. Now, here's where things got even messier. My cousins and some extended family caught wind of what was going on, thanks, social media, and the family divide has gotten even wider. One of my cousins actually called Lucy out publicly, saying what she did was attention-seeking and disrespectful. That led to a full-blown family argument in our group chat, with people picking sides. The weirdest part? Some family members who initially didn't say much are now telling me they've always seen Lucy as the golden child too, and they're glad someone finally spoke up. Of course, this didn't go over well with my parents. My mom told me I was tearing the family apart and that I needed to put an end to this nonsense. But I wasn't the one who made it public, and I can't control what other people say or think. The breaking point. What really shocked me, though, was how my dad reacted. He's usually the peacemaker, but he straight up told me that I ruined Lucy's big moment, her pregnancy announcement, and that I'm holding a grudge for no reason. That hurt more than I expected because I always thought he at least understood where I was coming from. On top of that, my parents invited Lucy and her husband over for dinner a few nights ago, but they didn't invite me. When I asked why, my mom said they didn't want any more drama. So now, not only am I dealing with the emotional fallout from the wedding, but I'm also feeling like I'm being pushed out of my own family. Where I'm at now, I've been doing a lot of reflecting, and honestly, I don't think I can keep pretending everything's okay just for the sake of keeping peace. I love my family, but I can't keep sacrificing my feelings and self-respect just to avoid conflict. My husband has been super supportive through all of this, and he's encouraged me to set clear boundaries with both my sister and my parents. So, as hard as it is, I've decided to go low contact with Lucy and my parents for now. I'm not cutting them out completely, but I need space to heal and to figure out how or if I want to move forward with them. Some of my cousins have reached out to say they support me, and that's been a huge comfort during all of this. Everything in a nutshell. After my sister announced her pregnancy at my wedding despite me telling her not to, I faced pressure from my family to apologize and move on. My parents have taken her side, and the family is more divided than ever. I've decided to go low contact with my sister and parents to protect my mental health. AITA for distancing myself after everything that happened? Relevant comments. Commenter. Absolutely NTA. I always hate suggesting LC or NC, but to be honest, it sounds like the only option in this scenario if you wish to keep your self-respect. What Lucy did was terrible, and the way your parents are taking her side is equally horrid. I would get closer to your cousins. They seem like your real family. OP, thanks for the support. I agree low contact seems necessary to keep my self-respect. Lucy's actions hurt, and my parents siding with her made it worse. I'll definitely focus on my cousins who've been supportive. Appreciate your advice. Commenter. NTA. Your sister is a self-centered bitch, and your parents obviously prefer her over you. Fudge all three of them, and when they're ready to take accountability, then you can rekindle the relationship. Until then, ignore them and enjoy your new marriage. Commenter. NTA. Send her the bill for the wedding since it was her big moment. Update 2. Hey Reddit. I'm back again with an update that I really didn't expect to be writing so soon. The baby shower drama. So, here's what happened. Just when I thought things had calmed down, I got an invitation to Lucy's baby shower. And not just any invitation, it was a fancy, over-the-top one with gold foil and a little note from Lucy herself that said, "I hope this will bring our family back together." You can probably guess how that went over. But here's the kicker. My parents are hosting it at their house, which they conveniently forgot to mention when I talked to them last week. Now, I've never been one to avoid awkward situations, but the thought of showing up to that baby shower made my skin crawl. I mean, how could I celebrate her after everything that's happened? Still, I was torn. A part of me didn't want to give Lucy the satisfaction of thinking she won, or that she'd successfully driven a wedge between me and the rest of the family. But my husband, bless his soul, reminded me that it's not about winning or losing, it's about protecting my own mental health. So I did the mature thing and RSVP'd no. But, of course, that's not where this story ends. The unexpected twist: a few days later, I get a frantic call from my cousin, Lisa. Apparently, at Lucy's baby shower, which I didn't attend, someone thought it'd be hilarious to get back at me by announcing a fake pregnancy on my behalf. Yup, you read that right. One of Lucy's friends stood up and made some offhand comment like, "Well, since we're all making announcements at family events, I guess it's only fair to share that OP is pregnant too." Cue laughter, confusion, and my mom texting me, demanding to know if it was true. At first, I was furious. Who the hell would make a joke like that? But after a few deep breaths, I realized this was just the kind of chaos Lucy attracts. It's like the universe is conspiring to turn every major life event into some bizarre spectacle. I told my mom it wasn't true, of course, but now the rumor is spreading through the family like wildfire. A couple of my aunts have already congratulated me on the good news, and I had to awkwardly explain that no, I'm not pregnant and no, I didn't announce it at Lucy's baby shower as some weird act of revenge. The audacity of it all, right? The aftermath again. You'd think that after this latest stunt, my parents would be on my side, right? Nope. Instead, my mom called me to say I was overreacting to what was clearly a harmless joke, and I should lighten up. My dad, predictably, stayed silent in the background while my mom lectured me on how I'm making things worse by refusing to attend family events. According to her, Lucy's pregnancy is a joyous occasion, and I should just let bygones be bygones. I told her, calmly but firmly, that while I don't expect an apology anymore, because clearly that's never happening, I also don't want to be part of a family dynamic where my feelings are constantly invalidated. My mom sighed, said she just wants things to go back to normal, and hung up. Where I stand now, so where does that leave me? Honestly, I'm still figuring it out. The fake pregnancy announcement was ridiculous, but in a way, it's also kind of freeing. It showed me just how little respect Lucy and, by extension, my parents have for my boundaries. I've decided to extend the low contact to no contact for now. My husband and I are planning a long overdue honeymoon, and frankly, I need the distance. Will I reconnect with my family? Maybe, but only if they can actually acknowledge the years of hurt and not brush it under the rug like they always do. In the meantime, I'm focusing on the people who genuinely care about me, my supportive cousins, my incredible husband, and the friends who've had my back through all of this. And Lucy? Well, she's probably already planning her next big announcement. Maybe she'll tell everyone at Christmas that she's having twins, or that she's secretly a royal. Who knows? As for me, I'm done playing a supporting role in her never-ending drama. And if anyone else tries to make another announcement at one of my life events, I swear I'm going to elope to a deserted island. Everything in a nutshell. After my sister hijacked my wedding, her baby shower turned into a circus with a fake pregnancy announcement made on my behalf. My parents still aren't taking my side, and I've decided to go no contact for the time being. The family divide has deepened, but I'm choosing peace over constant drama. What's next? Who knows? Maybe I'll fake an alien abduction for attention next time. Update 3. It just keeps getting weirder. Hey Reddit, guess who's back? Yup, it's me again, the one whose family apparently thrives on drama. If you thought the fake pregnancy announcement was the peak of ridiculousness, hold on to your hats, because things have taken another insane turn. The family intervention after I decided to go no contact, things were quiet for a couple of weeks. I started to think maybe I'd finally get some peace. Nope. One evening, as my husband and I were binge-watching Netflix, there was a knock at the door. I opened it to find my mom, dad, and Lucy standing there like some kind of intervention squad. My mom looked at me with this grave expression, as if they were about to tell me I'd been excommunicated from the family, while Lucy stood there smirking like the Cheshire Cat. I didn't even get a chance to say hello before my mom launched into this rehearsed speech about how families don't just give up on each other, and that I was being unreasonable by cutting them off. Lucy, of course, chimed in with a classic line. This whole thing is getting out of hand. You need to just move on. It's not like I killed someone. I swear I saw red. I told them they had no right to show up at my house unannounced, and that I wasn't ready to move on from Lucy's blatant disregard for my feelings. My dad, shockingly, spoke up and said, "It's been long enough, Opie. You're acting like a child." I felt like I was in some kind of nightmare. Here was my family, standing in my doorway, gaslighting me into thinking I was the problem for not just rolling over and accepting Lucy's behavior. The ultimatum then, my mom hit me with the big one. If you don't apologize to Lucy and come to her next family event, we're done. I kid you not. She actually said that. I was floored. An apology? For what? For having my wedding overshadowed by Lucy's announcement? For setting boundaries that no one respected? I stood there in shock for a moment, and then, like a flood, all the pent-up frustration and hurt came pouring out. I told them exactly how I felt, how Lucy had always been treated like the golden child, how I'd been pushed aside my whole life, and how this was just the final straw. Lucy rolled her eyes and said, "Oh my God, it's not that deep." At that point, I couldn't take it anymore. I told them that if they wanted to cut me off, so be it. I was done fighting for a family that didn't care about my feelings. My mom looked genuinely surprised, as if she hadn't expected me to stand my ground. They left, and I felt this weird mix of sadness and relief. The twist I didn't see coming: a few days later, I got a message from an unknown number. Turns out, it was Lucy's husband. Now, Lucy's husband and I have never been particularly close, but what he sent me was unexpected, to say the least. He basically said he was sorry for how things had played out and admitted that even he thought Lucy's announcement at my wedding was out of line. He said Lucy had always needed to be the center of attention and that he wasn't sure how to deal with it anymore. He even hinted that their marriage was strained because of her constant need for validation. I didn't know how to respond. I mean, I wasn't about to become best friends with the guy, but it felt good to know that someone in Lucy's life saw her for who she really was. Still, I kept my reply short, thanked him for reaching out, and left it at that. The final blow, just when I thought things couldn't possibly get more dramatic, I got another call from my mom. I debated not answering, but curiosity got the better of me. And boy, am I glad I did. Apparently, Lucy is now furious with me because her husband took my side and told her that she needed to apologize to me. She's been throwing a fit about how I've poisoned her marriage and how I'm ruining her life. My mom begged me to just apologize to Lucy to smooth things over, as if my simple apology would magically fix their marriage. Can you imagine? I could hardly believe what I was hearing. I asked my mom point blank, "Do you even hear how ridiculous that sounds?" And for once, she didn't have an immediate response. I told her that I wasn't going to apologize for standing up for myself and that Lucy's marriage problems weren't my responsibility. If anything, they were the result of her own behavior. She tried one last guilt trip, but I stood firm. We hung up, and I haven't heard from her since. Where I'm at now, so here's where things stand. My family seems to be on the verge of imploding, and honestly, I'm okay with it. I can't control what Lucy does or how my parents react, but I can control how much I let them affect me. My husband and I are officially in self-care mode, and we're putting all this madness behind us as we plan our honeymoon. Lucy's baby is due in a few months, and I have no idea if I'll even be invited to meet my future niece or nephew. But that's fine by me. I'm done chasing approval from people who refuse to acknowledge my boundaries or respect me as an individual. If Lucy and my parents want to live in their world of drama and denial, they can have it. As for me, I'm choosing peace even if that means walking away from my family for a while. Everything in a nutshell. My family showed up unannounced to intervene, demanded an apology, and issued an ultimatum. I refused to back down, and now Lucy's husband is siding with me, which has sparked a whole new level of chaos. I'm done with the drama, and I'm choosing to focus on my own happiness.